As a personal injury attorney and as a parent, I know how scary and stressful it can be if your kids are involved in a motor vehicle accident. In this video, I'm going to discuss different topics related to minors and what differences there are, if any, in a personal injury case. First, I'm going to talk about one difference between a regular personal injury case involving an adult versus a minor, and that is the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations is basically the time frame that you have to bring your case to court. In Nevada, for personal injury cases, you have 2 years from the date of the accident to file a lawsuit against the at-fault or other parties involved in the case. However, if the claims are being brought by a minor, then they have 2 years from the date that they turn 18 years old. So obviously you can see that one of the big differences is the statute of limitations doesn't begin to run until your child turns 18 years old. Second, when we're dealing with minors, the treatment that they receive could be a little bit different than what you typically see in an adult. And most of the time that's because depending on the age of the child, children that are younger recover much quicker than adults do, and so generally don't end up needing as much treatment as say you or I do. So one of the things to consider is, where do I take my child for any treatment related to an accident? Obviously, if it's emergent, then the hospital or an urgent care is definitely something that you should do right away, especially if it's a severe accident or there's any severe injuries. Otherwise, we generally tell our clients, if they have an established pediatrician, to set up an appointment with the pediatrician as soon as you can. And when you go in, tell the pediatrician about the concerns that you're having and that you were involved in a motor vehicle accident. From there, your pediatrician can make any of the necessary referrals. If your child is older than, let's say, an infant or a toddler, some providers in the area will see your child for ongoing conservative treatment like chiropractic or physical therapy. And that's one of the things that personal injury attorneys can help you with, is to find a medical provider that is specialized or can see your child after a motor vehicle accident. And lastly, we represent minors the same way we would an adult. We monitor their treatment, make sure they're getting what they need. Once they're finished with treatment, we get all of their medical bills and records together and send a demand to the insurance company and negotiate a settlement. There are some different considerations as far as settlement goes versus litigation. If we are able to get the case resolved, if your child is going to receive $2,500 or more, then we have to set up that settlement in a block trust account for them, which they will be able to access once they turn 18. And here at Kaplan Law Group, we'll help through that whole process. We draft the petition, we have you come in, review that, sign off, and submit it to the judge. And then the judge will issue an order that you will take along with the check to the bank to get the block trust account set up. Once your child reaches the age of 18, we will get documentation of that and provide that to the court so that the court will issue another order to release those funds. If your child receives $2,500 or less from the settlement, we may still need a court order, but typically that settlement check will be made out to the parent or guardian for the interests of the child. If we can't get the case resolved and we do have to litigate the case, then essentially the parent or guardian steps into the shoes of the child and participates in the litigation like the case is their own. And again, these are considerations to keep in mind that will impact your child, whether they're in the vehicle with you at the time of the accident or whether they're in the motor vehicle accident by themselves. Any additional information you might need or help that you might need in navigating this process, especially if your child's involved, please give us a call at Kaplan Law Group at 702-381-8888.